All right, man. All right. That fight with Mike Barnes and Johnny Lawrence was bullshit.
Quiet!
All right. There is no way that Mike Barnes, the national champion, would have lost to Johnny Lawrence. Now listen, I'm a Johnny Lawrence fan, but at the end of the day, from a writing standpoint, and the third film being, the penultimate finale, Mike Barnes is karate's bad boy. He's a national champion. He's supposed to be better than Johnny Lawrence because he's a freaking national champion. Forget the Valley, he's national, just like they said in the show. So when it comes down to him and Johnny fighting, I was like, all right, Johnny Lawrence and Mike Barnes, and Mike is now his old school self, like he said after he was training the students. Remember that scene where he's like, if I was my old self, then maybe Silver wouldn't have burned my house down. If I was that old guy, if I was that guy again. And I feel like, oh damn, this is karate's bad boy. This is sick. He's actually bad. But no, then he gets like pretty much roundhouse kicked to the face and does like an 820 flip and like spins out of control into a table. And I messaged Sean Kanan, and I'm like, bro, there's no way they made you lose to Johnny Lawrence. So I like Sean. I was able to get dinner with him in Los Angeles just about 5 months ago or so. And it was great to actually meet him for the first time and hang out with him. And he's a really great guy. Very, very nice guy. And I really wanted to see, just because I love the character, but also because I like Sean, I wanted to see him, actually like karate's bad boy put to the test and give Johnny, like a run for his money. But I felt like that was just a little bit too rushed. It was a little bit too convenient for the story. I don't think it makes sense from a story standpoint because he is the penultimate. But if we want to make sense of it and try to theorize on how Johnny did actually win, it's because Mike Barnes, and here's my coping, Mike Barnes hasn't been training. All right, he's been doing his furniture business for all these years. He turned over a new leaf, and he hasn't been training like Johnny has. Johnny's gone through so many fights already with Kreese, with Daniel, and he has definitely been practicing. He's not rusty anymore. He's gotten the rust off. So since season 1, and so it took 5 seasons until we saw Mike Barnes, where he started to get like a little bit into karate again and show us some of the old moves when he had a little back and forth with Chosen in the furniture shop. But that being said, I understand that they want Johnny to be, the golden boy. Nobody can beat Johnny or Daniel. The whole thing about Daniel beating Silver in season 5, I didn't make a video about this because I was just pissed. I'm like, there's no freaking way that Daniel beats Terry Silver. No way. It does not make sense. But then we can theorize that the reason he lost is because his morale was down, and Terry Silver is all about ego, and he needs like an audience to kind of be behind him. And if his students don't care about him anymore, then he just doesn't have anything to kind of like fight for because he needs that attention and that validation. That's like my way of rationalizing how he actually lost to Daniel, because there's no way. I don't see it happening. That would be like Daniel beating Mr. Miyagi on some level, right? Mr. Miyagi beats the crap out of Silver, but on a sort of like level like that, I feel like, it's kind of on par with that. Like Silver is the opponents for Miyagi that Mike Barnes is to Daniel, and he's supposed to be, the penultimate. Silver's the penultimate, and that's how I kind of feel about that. So I thought the fight didn't make any sense. I don't think that Mike Barnes would lose to Johnny Lawrence. As much as I love Johnny, Johnny's my boy, but karate's bad boy, next level. Okay, that guy is an animal. Last time you weren't fighting this. Remember that line? That right there in canon, when Mark Robert Kamen wrote that, just proves that this is a character that beats the shit out of Johnny. So I feel like in the 80s, Mike Barnes would have beat Johnny. It's tough to say if he would have beat Chosen. I think he would have beat Chosen, especially by my logic. I should say he would beat Chosen. But Chosen also was a little bit of a, dirty fighter, man. He would fight to the freaking death. And I don't know if Mike Barnes had that level of honor in him to fight to the death, so to speak. He'd be like, probably get to the point where we're like, hey man, okay, this is too much now. Not that he wouldn't win, but it would just be like a little bit more life or death situation instead of hey, I knocked you out or whatever. So like Chosen would just keep coming back. But yeah, so that fight, Mike Barnes versus Johnny, I don't agree. Don't think that Johnny would have beat him at least that easily. I feel like Mike would have like bloodied him up pretty damn bad. Also the part with the saw, I don't feel like they would have like thrown each other into the sawmill like that. They're badasses in karate, but they're not murderers. They're not mutilators, It's like, what the heck? But anyways, that's my thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. Are you team Johnny? Are you team Mike? I'm team both. I love Karate's bad boy. I think he's supposed to be the most badass, you know, but maybe he's rusty. Also love Johnny, you know, so can't really go wrong, I guess. I just feel like that fight, you needed to give a little more respect to Karate's bad boy in that one. But we'll see what they do going forwards, if Mike will be in the show further. I hope he freaking is. And I hope he actually gets to fight Terry Silver for once. That was so lame in season 5. I didn't talk about it. We're just like, dude, why do you... We've been waiting so long. You make Mike kind of this, like, eccentric psycho, which he was always a psycho, but he wasn't like this. Make Chosen super clowny and goofy, and then you just get Mike knocked out of the fight. How long have we been waiting for him to fight Terry Silver? Forever, right? So anyways, maybe we'll see that. I hope we will. I hope we will get to see something like that. And we'll see what happens. Love you guys. Have a great day. And remember, no mercy.